I do want to go to Hallie Jackson. Hallie, we had a bit of breaking news as we were covering this news conference and the president was speaking. It sounds like subpoenas, from what we have reporting here at NBC News, subpoenas have been served at the offices of the governor of Minnesota as well as the mayor of Minneapolis. What more do we know about that?
That's right, Tom. A slew of subpoenas now coming from the Department of Justice to officials in Minnesota, state and local as well, from the Minnesota Attorney General to the office of the governor there, the Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey, who has been very public, very front and center in this. We can pull it up on screen. You can see the list of subpoenas there, according to a document reviewed by NBC News and a person familiar with the investigation. The subpoenas, according to the DOJ, are that related to this idea that Minnesota public officials, according to the Trump administration, conspired to impede law enforcement during immigration operations there. We already have a response now from the office of the Minneapolis mayor, from Mayor Frey, who's suggesting that the federal government is weaponizing its power to try to intimidate local leaders for doing their jobs, going on to say that every American should be concerned. He says we shouldn't have to live in a country where people fear that federal law enforcement will be used to play politics or crack down on local voices they disagree with. And, Tom, make no mistake, this is an escalation now of the conflict here between the feds, between the Trump administration and state and local officials in the state of Minnesota and in the city of Minneapolis after the killing of Renee Good now 2 weeks ago here, the woman who was shot and killed by an ICE officer at the tail end of some operations they had been conducting in that city. You heard the president, too, interestingly, reference Good. He took a different tone on this than we have heard from his top officials over the course of the last 12 days or so, suggesting that ICE may have made a mistake generally, or that ICE can make mistakes. That is markedly different, Tom, from the more defiant and defensive tone that we had heard from people like the Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. So a lot of moving pieces on the Minnesota front late today, too.
It was a notable shift, and we'll see if the White House sticks with that language or if it morphs into something else.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.